welcome back to Market Fatafat, a show where we highlight all the counters that are buzzing in trade as of now. And with this, let me welcome on board our technical expert for today, and that is Nirav Chheda from Nirmal Bang Securities joining us. Hi, very good afternoon, Nirav, and let me come to you and talk to you about your first stock, that is GAIL, showing decent moves in today's trading session. How are you seeing that counter on charts?
Yeah, thank you everyone. Again, thanks for having me. See, this stock, this has been in consolidation for a long time, and finally, you've seen a breakout coming in above that 114-15 odd levels, and post that, we haven't seen a big move. So at this point of time, it is well placed to go up quite significantly. It's above the breakout levels. It has retested the breakout levels and can now move up towards that 135, 140 odd levels in the near term. So look to buy the stock at current levels with a stop loss of around 115, and you can get that 135, 140 very soon.
Keep an eye out on that level of 135, 140 for a GAIL over there. But let's move on and talk about Britannia. This one is in focus on the back of its numbers. Plus, we have the con call highlights that started pouring in as well. When you look at it in terms of the numbers of the company, what we saw, margin came in at as a very positive surprise on this front today, this time for Britannia. And that is what kept the stock abuzz. Volumes as expected was muted, the numbers that were expected, and everyone was expecting weakness coming in. So yes, volumes was muted, but margins came in at a very big positive surprise, and that is what is keeping the stock abuzz as well. Now, when you look at it in terms of, the market share, also the company said that they've gained market share in Q2 as well. And con call highlights, key highlights coming in, they said they've not lost any market share. The packet growth has been flattish this time around. Overall, other than that, the new initiatives, they expect that to have a revenue of around 200 crores is what they think the potential is from these new initiatives. Urban contribution has been rising for the company. Rural area, yes, still under stress. And because of that, when you look at it in terms of the market share, that is more urban centric for the company right now. 1.3 times that versus the rural is what the company highlighted in their con call. Other than that, they said that the company is aiming to maintain the margins at 19 to 20%. And obviously, they will be continuing to focus on that rural distribution that they have been, despite this rural slowdown, they believe that once rural comes back, that would give them a benefit as well, and that is why they continue to favor the rural distribution expansion and continue to focus on that as well. So let's keep an eye out on Britannia today and focus on the back of its numbers as well as con call highlights.
Okay, one of the top gainers in Nifty 50 today, that was Britannia. But Lisa, the stock that is down 2.5%, that is LIC Housing Finance. Once again, an earnings candidate. Tell us, how are the numbers this time?
Right, the numbers that LIC Housing Finance reported, it's slightly weak quarter, and that is reflected in their share price as well. The stock is down around 2.5% as we speak. PAT, though it increased threefold to 1,000 odd crore, but the NII, that also was up around 82% on year-on-year basis. NII was in line, but what hit the stock the most was the loan growth that remained weak, and that was on the back of elevated provisions. The provisions was higher at around 420 crore, while the loan growth was low at around 6% on year-on-year basis. So that is why we can see LIC Housing Finance is reeling under pressure today on the back of weak set of numbers coming in.
Okay, let's move on to the next stock, and this one is on the technicals. And Nirav, you picked out BPCL for us. On the charts, how is BPCL looking to you?
So this is the first instance, after a long time, that this stock has moved above the 50 and 200-day moving averages. So, looking at the chart, it looks like this stock is going to move up quite significantly. It can come up towards that 400, 420 odd levels, and very fast at that. So, look to buy the stock at current levels. The pattern is very bullish at this point of time. Also, it has done a good consolidation in between 300 and 350, 360 odd levels, and now that breakout has also come in. So a good stop loss for this particular stock would be around 340 odd. Keep that stop loss for that target of around 420 odd.
Okay, so that was about BPCL showing good moves in today's trading session. But let's shift focus to Tata Motors then, because the earnings are awaited from Tata Motors, and this time around we are expecting a decent set by the company, wherein JLR EBIT margins will be the key to watch, because from 8.6% of EBIT margin in Q1 FY24, we are expecting a blip or two at 7% this time around, wherein because of the plant shutdowns of Tata Motors, the JLR division's volumes were impacted. And if we look at the volume mix this time, then there has been a growth of 3% in their commercial vehicle volumes on a YY basis, while the passenger vehicle volumes have seen a decline of close to 3%. So that was about the mix. But talking about the consolidated earnings, then we are expecting a jump of 5.5% on a quarter-on-quarter basis in their top line. A similar kind of growth is expected in the EBITDA number, while the margins are expected almost flattish. 13.2% is the expectation, and onto the profit figure, we are expecting a number close to 4,500 crores. So let's wait and watch whether there could be any surprise on the JLR EBIT margin as well, or onto the consolidated margins. But the management outlook on the production, onto the margin front, will be the key to watch out for Tata Motors.
We're keeping an eye out on Tata Motors. Let's move on, talk about GMDC, Ashesha. This one had seen a sharp fall coming in early morning trade. What's the stock doing now, and how are the numbers overall?
Well, yes, very weak set of numbers, and the stock is sitting with a cut of nearly 8% as we speak. It has not recovered from the lowest point of the day, 8% lower. Very weak set of numbers both on a sequential and on a year-on-year basis. Sequentially, revenues have fallen by as much as 50 basis points. Margins have also contracted to about 13.8% versus 32% that the company had reported in their previous quarter. Production too has taken a knock this time around. Total lignite production stood at about 9.15 lakh metric ton, which is a decline of 20% on a year-on-year basis in the second quarter. And for the first half of FY24 as well, production has declined by as much as 25%. So very weak set of numbers across the board sequentially and year-on-year. The stock has not recovered, and the stock is now sitting on with a cut of nearly 8%.
Okay, so that was about GMDC, but GNFC is the counter, Nirav, that you have picked up. Tell us how the chart's looking like for this one.
This stock has completed its 2-year cycle of a down move, and post that a breakout has come in this counter at 600 levels, which has been retested in the last month or so. Post that, a good move has come in this stock, and all the consolidation highs have been taken out. The highs were around 650 odd, and they have been taken out, and the overall target now seems to be coming to around 850, 870 odd level. So that should be your target at this point of time. It's at good level to buy. Go ahead and buy this stock. You can keep a stop loss of around 655 for your long.
Okay, keeping an eye out on those levels for GNFC. Kansai, Nerolac, Lisa, numbers, how are they looking like?
They reported their numbers, not so great numbers coming in from Kansai Nerolac. The revenue that was flat on year-on-year basis. EBITDA, however, that grew at around 37% on year-on-year basis. PAT also was up 58%. But their domestic segment that was impacted owing to monsoon and also delayed festive season. But the management highlighted that going forward, the second half is looking good because of the festive season. So yes, but they also highlighted that they will be seeing volatility in the raw material prices, and any calibrated price hikes that they may take, they will adopt a wait and watch approach on the crude price movement. On their segments, they said that the industrial segment that has done well within that the auto space has done well, but the non-auto space, the performance coating demand, though it improved, but the powder coating segment that was quite low. So the analyst take Macquarie has come out with a note on Kansai Nerolac, and they have maintained a neutral with a target price of around 345 per share, and they believe that the decorative demand going forward, it will show some traction given the normal monsoon as well as delayed festive season. So on the back of that, Kansai Nerolac is reeling under pressure.
Okay, but Vinny, take us through the numbers of Godrej Consumers then.
Absolutely. Godrej Consumers, in terms of numbers, operational outperformance is something that continued for the company. Yes, we seems like a bit of a subdued performance overall when you compare, but operationally, yes, very strong performance. Look at the margins, also sharp expansion in terms of the margins of the company is what we saw coming in. And other than that, when you look at it in terms of the commentary that the management gave us when they were talking to us in the morning on ET Now, they said that the K-shaped recovery is something that continued in the market. So yes, rural was something that was still subdued. Urban kept doing quite well for the company. Rural demand was a bit tough even in this quarter, but HI segment, they believe the volumes currently are at 3 to 5%. They expect it to be in the medium to in the 8% range, 8 to 9% range, and they believe that the margins are something that will start coming and seeing improvement furthermore even from here onwards as well. So around 19.6% is what it's right now. In the coming quarters also, they are expecting to see a further improvement in terms of the margins of the company. So yes, keeping an eye out on GCPL today. We have brokerage note Investec also, brokerage firm that is maintaining a buy on the company and keeping a target price of 1,138 rupees per share. That's for GCPL from Investec as well. So keeping an eye out on that one.
Okay, moving on, and let's focus to Federal Bank then. And Nirav, this is the counter that you have picked up. The stock is quite muted in today's trading session, but how do you see that and how do you see the move going ahead?
This stock has been muted for the last couple of weeks. You're right on that. But this stock has witnessed a big breakout, a 2-yearly breakout, and it has also touched its all-time highs a couple of weeks back. And I believe this stock has it in it to move up quite significantly from here. It can actually reach 170, 175 odd. It's at a good level. It has retested its breakout, which was around that 138, 137 odd levels. So that retest has happened. So look to buy this stock at current levels. 134 should be your stop loss, for that big target of around 170.
Okay. On that note, we're going to zip into a very short break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more stocks after the break.
Attention startups. Reach 25 crore people. Well within your budget. Advertise on 10 TV channels in one shot. No TVC required. Brand starter pack starting from just 1 lakh rupees. Brand Surge, the special marketing starter pack for startup brands. For more details, visit our website brandsurge.co.in or write to us at brandsurge@timesgroup.com. Times Network, now or nothing.
Trekking in the monsoon is quite a risk. So be careful.
You also take risks, Dad, don't you?
Me? I don't even risk drinking hot tea.
I'm talking about the stock market. Trade only in those products that are within your risk-taking capacity and with knowledge of that risk. Taking too much risk increases the chances of both profits and losses.
Last anniversary, you promised me that we'll buy a new house.
It's festive time. Let's get it now.
HDFC Bank Expressway is here. We'll get a home loan in no time.
Then let's get a place with a nice terrace. With festive treats, festive cheer instantly here. HDFC Bank presents Expressway, where you can get express home loan in an instant.
सौ छोटे कदम से भला एक सुपर कदम SBI जनरल का हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस
सुरक्षा और भरोसा दोनों।
Indiabulls Housing Finance Limited announces a public issue of secured redeemable NCDs offering coupon rate of up to 10.75% per annum and additional incentive of up to 0.50% per annum. Tranche 3 issue is open for subscription. To subscribe, log on to www.indiabullshomeloans.com. For risk factors, detailed disclaimer and more details, please refer to the shelf prospectus and Tranche 3 prospectus available on the websites of SEBI, stock exchanges, company, and the lead managers.
ESAF Small Finance Bank Limited, a scheduled commercial bank with a focus on unbanked and underbanked customer segments, especially in rural and semi-urban centers, launches an initial public offering of equity shares of face value of 10 rupees each in a price band of 57 rupees to 60 rupees per equity share. A discount of 5 rupees per equity share is being offered to eligible employees bidding in the employee reservation portion. Bid offer opens on Friday, November 3 and closes on Tuesday, November 7, 2023. For risk factors and more details, please refer to the RHP available on the websites of SEBI, the BRLMs and the stock exchanges.
Hi. What's that? That's a Manish Malhotra. Not your dress. The cupboard. The laminate is a Manish Malhotra design.
Century Laminates by Manish Malhotra. Fashion for your furniture.
Live it up, live it up.
जब भरोसे की हो बैकिंग तो निवेश का हर फैसला बन जाता है बुलंद। इसीलिए हम खड़े हैं हर निवेश के लिए, हर निवेशक के साथ। SBI Securities.
Investment in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.
Welcome back to Market Fatafat, and let's keep it going with all the counters that are buzzing. And Hero MotoCorp is the counter that I wish to highlight. It was an earnings candidate, and yesterday post-market hours we did see the numbers coming in. When the numbers were this time in line, exactly in line to what we were expecting at TT now, and there was no surprise actually from Hero MotoCorp talking about the commentary, though it was yes on the positive side, but we have seen a bit of a momentum pre-earnings on Hero MotoCorp, and maybe that's why we are seeing the stock fall in about 1.53% as of now. But talking about the management commentary in the con call, so they do say that this time the festive demand in the rural areas have been really good. That is catching momentum, and going ahead in the month of November, wherein the real cheer of Diwali will kick in, they are expecting good set of numbers. They are now focusing on building the market share in the premium motorcycle segment, and especially from the likes of Harley Davidson as well as Charisma, one of their recent offerings in the premium segment. They are looking to expand their capacities as well, and in the stage 1 of this expansion plan, they will be taking it up to 10,000 units per month. So these were the plans that the company highlighted or shared in the con call, but nevertheless it's definitely not giving the excitement to the stock price, which is down about 1.5% in trade right now.
Okay, let's move on to the next stock, that is REC, and Ashesha, this is the top F&O gainer today. What is keeping the stock abuzz?
Well, yes, it reported very strong set of numbers. The stock, in fact, hit record high level in today's trading session, and what a wealth creator it's been. The stock today, of course, is trading on with gains of 8%. It reported strong disbursals in the quarter gone by, which was supported with strong loan growth. Disbursements were up nearly 133% on a year-on-year basis, supported by 20% year-on-year growth as far as its loan book is concerned. Margins also beat consensus estimates. It reported 17 basis points sequential margin expansion, and net interest margins at in the quarter gone by stood at about 3.45 odd percent. As far as cost of funding is concerned, that too is on the lower side, and management expects 9 stressed assets to be resolved in FY24. Very strong set of numbers. Prospects also look strong. The stock is holding up 8% higher in trade as we speak.
Okay, 8% higher for the counter. But moving on, and Nirav, what's your take coming in on Paytm? How are you looking at this one on the charts?
See, on the charts, this stock is one of the few stocks which hasn't moved up much. It has come down from some 1500 1700 odd levels, but it has it in it to move up. There is a very good consolidation that went on in between 500 to 700 levels. Good volumes went in there, and then post that 700 breakout, it is moving in a higher top higher bottom formation. It has reached its previous low. In fact, the previous swing high, and now it is ready to move up higher. I believe this stock has it in it to move up towards that 1050 1100 level. So look to buy this stock at current levels with a stop loss of 890, and once your target comes in, book your profit.
Keeping an eye out on that level over there for Paytm. Let's move on to Triveni Turbine. Lisa, this one and focus on the back of its numbers as well.
Yes, very strong set of numbers came in from Triveni Turbine, and we can see it reflecting in the stock price as well. The stock is at the highest point at this point of time. Record high, record revenue, record order book, as well as record EBITDA. It was the highest quarterly revenue for the company. It was up around 32% for the revenue. EBITDA also was up around 34% on year-on-year basis. Margin though was stable. And talking about their order book, the order inflow that they clocked around 27% on year-on-year basis, and it came at around 459 crore. Even the order book, which was at a record close, it it rose by around 30% on year-on-year basis, and the management also highlighted that they are increasing the share of their exports, which is reflected in the contribution of exports also, which has risen from 41% to 47%. So that is why we can see Triveni Turbine is surging away and saw a significant up move in today's session.
Okay, moving on then, and Ashesha, Viatech Wabag also seeing stellar gains today. Tell us why is that so?
Well, yes, this counter is in focus on the back of an order win. The company informed the exchanges that they've won AFD and BEI funded order worth about 63 million euros. The company also said that this will be executed over a period of 30 months, followed by operation and maintenance of the plant, which will be done for the next 12 months. On the back of this order win that has come through, the stock is holding on with gains of over 5.5%.
Let's move on, and Nirav, on the charts, how is Viatech Wabag looking?
Yeah, this stock at this point of time, looks very good. Last 8 to 10 weeks, this stock was coming down from 540 odd levels. That was expected. Also, good volumes have happened at the lower end around that 460, 470 mark. Suppose that a breakout has come in the stock above that 490 odd levels again, a flag kind of a formation breakout. So I believe this stock can now move up in a new zone up to the 750, 800 odd levels from current 500. So it's a big jump for this particular stock. The charts are very positive, volumes are also there. So look to buy this stock from a medium term perspective. For that 700 target, you can keep a stop loss of around 460 for your longs.
Move on to the next stock, and that is Bliss GVS Pharma, and this one is in focus on the back of its numbers as well. When you look at it, a very good set of numbers was reported by the company this time in this quarter, and just taking out through the numbers as well, overall we've seen a sharp jump coming in the revenues of the company. The profits of the company have also seen a good growth, and margins have seen a sharp expansion this time as well. So all in all, overall we're seeing a good set of numbers that came in from the company. Specifically in terms of details of the numbers and taking out through the numbers specifically, if you look at it, we're seeing the revenue saw a growth of 23% coming in at 211 crores. Margins saw an expansion, which I mentioned, that is 25%, 25.7% what the margins came in at versus 14.4%, and profits saw growth more than doubling, tripling of growth in terms of profitability. Profits at 43 crores versus 16 crores. So keep an eye out on Bliss GVS Pharma in focus on the back of that.
Okay, moving on, and let's shift focus to Kotak Mahindra Bank. This particular counter is in focus after the announcement that Zurich Insurance will acquire 51% stake in Kotak General Insurance, and this is the first foreign insurer to buy 51% stake in an Indian company in the last 10 years, wherein Kotak General Insurance is a 100% subsidiary of Kotak Bank right now, and this deal values Kotak General Insurance at 7,943 crores, and Zurich will acquire additional 19% stake within the 3 years, and now Zurich wants to grow its presence in the markets like China and India, and hence this move. On in the back of this particular news, the stock is in focus as well as holding on to the gains of 0.6%.
That is Kotak Mahindra Bank for y'all, keeping an eye out on Kotak Mahindra Bank. But let's move on to the next stock that is in focus, and that is Varroc Engineering. Nirav, on the charts, is it an interesting time to add more stocks or maybe to book out profits?
It's a good time to add more. This stock has witnessed a breakout post 2020 for the first time. This breakout has come in around the 430, 435 odd level, which has been retested in this recent fall. And I believe this stock has now moved up above important 50-day moving average as well. So there is a good chance this stock can come up towards the 600, 620 odd levels. Look to buy this stock at current levels. Your stop loss would be around 435 for your long.
That was Varroc Engineering for y'all, but that was the last stock for today. So thank you so much, Nirav, Ashesha, as well as Lisa for joining in with us. And with that, it's a goodbye from Shrishti, myself, as well as the team who put this show together. Don't go anywhere. Closing trades will take the action forward.